Hello, welcome to Tech Transform. In this session, we are going to actually count the ratings of the movie provided in the movie lens dataset. In my last video, I have already told what are the RDD and all those. In this video, we are going to count the ratings of movies using a Spark RDD. I strongly recommend you to follow one of my previous videos of Hadoop in order to install the movie lens dataset, in order to get the movie lens dataset. That is already I have covered. The link you can get at the right top corner now. Then also I highly encourage you to I'm going to use Eclipse ID here, and already Scala is integrated with that. I also highly recommend to watch this video, which is currently at the right type corner. You're able to see in a notification. You follow that particular video. And in this video, what we are going to do, we are going to create RDD, and by using RDD, we are going to apply transformations and actions on those RDD. Actually, we are here to find the movies ratings counter, but before that, I will be getting you having a code walkthrough of how to create a Spark context and all those. Then I already created a program for that. Then we are going to deep dive into that particular ratings counter example. So let's get started. So my Eclipse is already running. So this is the program I have already written in order to count the ratings. Before that, I also want to quickly show the dataset. So this is the datasets, movie lens datasets. I'm going to use this u dot data. This is nothing. This is the thousands of rows containing user ID, movie ID, rating, and timestamp. Means the user ID 196 given for the movie ID 242. He has given rating 3 out of 1 to 5, and on this time he has given the rating. So like this, we have this data set in our text file, and this is the separated with tab. So it's a tab separated file. Okay, we are going to use this particular data set, movie lens data set, in our today Spark RDD program. Before that, what I want to do, I want to give you a basic of how to start from scratch. For that, you already know that how to create a Spark, how to create a project, and inside that project, how to create a package. So this is a project I have created for this Spark core, and inside that I have added a package called a Spark core. Then I am going to add a new object, Spark, a Scala object. So this is how we can do. Let's say Spark RDD, I am giving the name. Here we are going to see how to write code from scratch. So this, any object here, try to create a new object, you are going to get this boilerplate code. Here we have to do a lot of things. First, we have to add the package we are going to use. Before that, also I want to tell you one important thing, because this is a Spark framework and we are going to use Scala as a programming language, but we are going to use Spark packages here, like, because we are finally creating RDD. So RDD comes with Spark. So Spark libraries needs to be added to the particular project. For that, if you want to add the Spark library, you have to do right click on the project, then build path, configure build path. You have to come to libraries, then add external jars. These are the already I have added for Spark library. I have already added. For you, nothing will be shown here, only these two will be shown. So this, for to add these jars, you have to click add external jars. Then you have to go inside your work folder where your Spark is installed, Spark installation folder. Then you have to go inside the Spark folder, then lib. Then inside the libs, you have to select all the jars in order to work Spark, in order to work your normal Spark object with Spark Spark programs, Spark package. It will be able to access. So here we have to, first thing what we have to do, we have to import some packages. We are going to use that. For that, import org.apache.spark._. So this is we exported a Spark package. Then we have to import Spark context. For that, import org.apache spark dot spark context. Okay, dot underscore what it will do, it will give you all the packages inside the spark context, so you don't have to write it specifically. Then we have to import one library for suppressing the error, because once you start running this program, you can get a lot of other errors and warnings, so we don't want to print into the console. For that we are going to suppress, and we are going to only mean to the error level logs to print in the console. For that, import org.apache.log4j. So these are the packages necessary for our program. The very next thing, you have to create a main you have to define a main method. So that's the entry point of any Scala program. For that, you have to type main, and then you have to take help of the IDE, and we want to create the code by the IDE. For that, control space, you're going to see this main, enter. So this is the main method you got. Inside this, we are going to write our code. This is the entry point in order to run this Spark RDD.scala program. Remember, in my last video, I have told you about what is RDD and how to get RDDs using Spark, because it's mainly depending on first we need to create a Spark context. Utilizing that Spark context object, we can create RDD. The very first thing we have to do, we have to create a Spark context. For that, val sc is equal to new. Before that, I also want to suppress the error. For that, log, let me see, logger.getLogger. For that, logger.getLogger org dot set label dot, means this line what it is doing, it is going to print only the error level log in the console. Otherwise, it will print a lot of unwanted things and distract the output to see. So this is for that suppressing the log. Now the very first thing we have to, in order to create RDD, first we have to create a Spark context. So first consider how I'm creating. Val sc is equal to new Spark context, and here we have to say it's local star. We have to give a name called Spark RDD. This is the name I am giving. So this, we got the Spark context. So the meaning of this line is, we are basically create an instance of this Spark context from where we can access all the RDD's methods. RDD, we can create RDD using Spark context. So what parameter, for what we are doing here, val sc is equal to new Spark context. The very first parameter is saying local star, means we are going to run this Spark context locally in our current machine. Not we are going to run this on cluster. If you have a cluster, you have to set cluster configuration here. So we are going to run this locally, and this star specify the number of cores available in the CPU. It is going to utilize that. Let's say you have a multi-core CPU, it is going to utilize all the cores. That's what the star specify. It is going to run locally and going to use all the cores available in the CPU. And these are just the naming I am giving. I am giving a naming for this Spark context. The unique name I am giving is Spark RDD. So by this we are going to get this SC object. By using that SC object, remember I told you, well, list RDD. I am going to create a RDD. How I am going to create a SC dot parallelize. Parallelize a method once you want to give a hard coded value of data or list, you want to pass hard coded list for that list, let's say 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. So there is a there is two way you can give the data to the Spark context. Either you can specify hard coded like this using a parallelize, or also if you want to load data from external file, you can use sc.text file. That's what we are going to use in this rating counter example. So concentrate this with sc.parallelize, and text file is going to cover in this example. So we got this will give you a RDD. So this is not a normal object, this is a RDD object. This contains resilient distributed data set. It is a fault tolerance, it is distributed, means it can go and distribute on the different distributed file storage system, and also it is a data set, means you can perform lot of transformations and actions. So let's say we got this data set, we want to print this. For that, a list RDD dot for print ln. Okay, sorry, list RDD, this is the name. So we are able to print what is inside this list RDD. We will be seeing this. Now let's say I want to remember in my last video I showed you we have to perform transformation, we can perform actions on that. So here now we are going to perform transformation. What I'm going to do, I want each element to be a square. I want a square of each element, and want to create a new RDD for that. For that, val sqa square RDD is equal to, now my source RDD will be list RDD dot map method I am going to use, because I want one-to-one output, means I want to apply square to each item in the list RDD. For that I am taking map function. For that, x goes to x star x. What it is going to do, it is going to multiply x with x, means you're going to get a square. So this is square RDD. You want to print that, simply type this square RDD, tool v dot for each. Okay, I want to give a separator to give in correct format, we can see clearly. Okay, so we got this data. Now now our work is to run this spark rdd.scala file. How to run this? We already imported a Spark library. So you understand the code. What we created a Spark context, then we use the parallelize method in order to create a RDD. Then we are transforming RDD by applying a square using map function, and we are printing both the RDDs here. Now it's time to run this Spark RDD. For that, right click on this, run as, run configuration. Here what you have to do, you have to create, let's say you want to create a new run configuration. For this I am giving it the same name, Spark, the object Scala object name, the project is Spark core, my package name is spark.core. In order to give this main class path, first we have to give package name spark.core dot the method name, this is the Spark RDD, this is our object name. Okay, Spark RDD.scala. Okay, it is going to run that. So it started running console. I'm clicking double on this so that we can get a proper view. See what we can see from here. See, this is the first thing we are able to print 1 2 3 4. This 1 2 3 4. it's because it's a list, because it is not following any order. So 1 2 3 4, it's printing in anything. So the next thing is, see, we applied a square, we are able to print this 1 4 16 9, something like that. So we are able to print both the RDDs successfully. So this is the basic concept in order to create RDD, and how we are applying transformations. This also, you can say, you're applying for each, means you are applying action, then only you're going to get the value up to this line. If you're not executing this line or this line, this will remain like a variable. This is not going to contain any list RDD. This will be it's not executed till after this line, it is not executed. Once you are calling the action, then only it is executed. So in Spark, every code is going to execute once you call the action. And the transformations, this is a transformation, it is not going to execute on this line. Now let's quickly jump to our main agenda, ratings counter example. So this is what we are doing here. Let's start from very first. This is the package we have imported. Import org.apache.spark._, then the Spark context package, org.apache.log4j for logging. Okay. Then this is our object class ratings counter. Inside that we have created a main method. This is the entry point of main method where the action happens. This is the entry point. I have written all the comments. You can read also. So set the log level to print only error. Here we are suppressing the log to print only the error level logs, not the unwanted and other things. Here we are creating Spark context by using val s equal to new Spark context local star ratings counter. Create a Spark context using the every core of the local machine named rating counter. So that's what we created, a Spark context. Here see what we are going to do. We are loading the dataset what we have shown you at the very start of this session. u.data, this one, u.data. So load up each line of the RDD of the ratings data into an RDD. What it is going to do? It is going to load this whole data line row by row in the RDD. Okay. Then what we have to do? We have to our aim is to find the number of each ratings counter. It's a rating counter example. So what we are going to do? We are going to find how many the counts of each ratings. Let's say rating 1, how many counts available, rating 2, how many counts available, like that, rating 4, how many counts available. This is our aim for this example is. So ratings, where it is in the third field. This is the rating. So we loaded all this data and we have all these rows inside our RDD. Now what we have to do? We have to transform. So this is our raw RDD where it is containing all this data. Now what we are going to do? The transformation is happening here. So these are transformations we are applying. For that we are using map function, because we are going to apply in each row, and we are going to get data for each row. And these are the unwanted data for us. We don't concentrate on this timestamp. We only want this 331, the rating fields. For that, what we have done? Map. We are converting each row to a string, then splitting on tab, because this is a tab delimited data in each row. So we are splitting on tab. So once you split on tab, you are going to get 1 2 3 4 tuples. Okay. Then we have to mean on the third one, means 0 based index 0 1 2. We are able to extract these only ratings data. So this ratings now contains only this field, rating columns field, like this. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to count each ratings value. So let's say 3 3 4. We have to count first. Let's say 3. So count by value, what it is going to do, it is going to take one unique value, let's say 3, and it is going to count how many times 3 has been used here, how many times 3 has been repeated here, and it will give you the count. Like that, it is going to count for each ratings 1, 2, 3, how many times it occurred in the row. And finally, so this results contain your rating number, let's say 1, 2, 3, comma the value, the count of that particular rating. One ratings has been count is let's say 1000 times, 2000 times, something like that. Finally, we are sorting the result. Why we are sorting? We want the first rating to be appear first and the last rating to be appear last. That's what we are sorting. And finally, we are printing the result, sorted results. So now I am going to run this program in order to see the output. This run configuration I have already created, run ratings counter. Let's run this. See, we are able to get this. Means first rating 1, the count is 6110. The rating 2, the count is 11,370. The rating count, the rating 5 has count 21,201 in this whole data set. So these are the power of Spark. It can, let's say, if a petabytes or terabytes of data, it is going to partition this whole data RDD into cluster of computers. Right now we are only running in the local machine, and it will apply the transformation like we applied, and we got the only the fields which mean to us in this. The third column means the ratings, and finally we applied the count by value, that is the actions. Once we apply the actions, then the whole thing is going to execute your transformations and everything, and you finally Spark contact is getting pushing the result back to your driver program, in our case this program. Okay, so here we have these the transformations we applied, and here the actions we applied. So these two things we always used to do, transformation and actions. So see, we are able to finally get the ratings counters of the movie lens dataset. So for this video, this much. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.